You want a new secret? I'm Batman! Nope. Yeah, I'm high as coffee. But yeah, now are we going to test a modification for Half-Life 2, which is kind of awesome, because I never seen it before. Okay, now let's aim for the game and not fuck it too much. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt. Yeah, fuck. New game. This game is based on shows. You can choose to follow the like the ones that you will see. I don't have the energy to tell you, even though I'm high at coffee. Ah, fuck. Now let's see. It's called the Stanley Parable or something. Let's look at the cinematics. They're awesome.
A man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor next to his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
How can he be happy for that job?
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
The one that created this voice is kind of
when he realized that not one
good at
single order had arrived on a monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and walked out into the hallway.
And yeah, now he tells me that I should walk out in the hallway. Then I can like ignore him and do as I want. And yeah, that I wanted to say is the one that created the voice for this shit is kind of good at what he does. Yeah, let's listen to him now. I walked up in the hallway.
Stanley decided to go to the staff lounge to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, here can I show you that you don't have to do as he says. He said that I should go to the door to the left. Then I can choose to go to the right.
This was not the correct way to the employee lounge, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. So he turned left at the first open door and walked back in the right direction.
And he's opening the door. I can choose to not listen to him and go straight ahead, but I will listen to him, because...
And like that, he was back on track.
Because I also want to show you what's happening in the story if you go does it as he wants.
He was horrified to find not a single person there. He decided he would walk up to see his boss, hoping that he would find an answer there.
Right now I'm supposed to go to his boss, and I will do.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Entering his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. It was at this point that he began to feel dizzy and a little sick, and even thought he might pass out when suddenly he noticed a keypad next to the filing cabinet in the corner of his boss's office. Stanley had never seen this panel before. He had no idea what combination of numbers would produce any result. In fact, only Stanley's boss knew this, since the panel withheld access to the boss's greatest, darkest secret. And so he had assigned the keypad a combination that only he could possibly know. The number of his freshman dorm number in college.
Smart.
1957.
And how should this...
But of course,
Sure,
Stanley
know.
couldn't possibly have known this.
No, I don't know it. So how am I supposed to do? Because my character don't know it. Because I have already forgot it. Error! Yeah, I'm not supposed to know it.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the keypad was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 1957.
1957.
Yet
But how am I
incredibly,
supposed to know?
By simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code.
Yay! I'm awesome!
Amazing. Stanley ventured forth into the newly opened passage.
What is this?
As he drew deeper into the bowels.
And yeah, my room looks nicer because I've got my
Stanley had
fucking
no
couch
idea
out.
where he was,
Awesome!
or what this place held.
It's
And just as he
awesome!
began to think he
I
might
get it
not
out.
discover it,
Awesome!
he emerged into a long room to find
What did I find in here then? Lots of
and rows of monitors.
monitors?
Screens with a number above it.
What was
Stanley
my
noticed,
number?
However, that these were not random numbers, but the number of employees.
It's
who were
on blood.
his co-workers. Even his own number, 427.
427. There's mine. There's mine. Let's look at
Why
it.
a setup so
There's mine.
elaborate, he asked. Was this simple surveillance or something even more? And as if in answer to his question, the wall slid open before
I never
him,
played the real story of it,
revealing
so
the ultimate truth of the situation.
it's about to see what's happening. Alright. Oh, what the fuck is this big room?
An enormous control panel Stanley discovered, but not one that controlled simple machinery. Buttons were labeled with emotions. Happy, sad. Levers and knobs controlled actions. Walking, eating, doing work, or watching TV. Every input on this device monitored not the functions of a machine, but of a human being. And the reality began to sink in. Stanley, like so many other people, reduced to images on a monitor, had been under someone's control, always at the mercy
sucks.
of this machine. Could this have been the only reason employee number 427 was content with his boring job? That a machine had altered his emotions to accept it blindly? He began to feel
I want one of
unbridled
those
rage,
things.
and at the peak of his
Like
anger,
put it in some
something
school or
happened.
something.
a spark.
So I can control my classmates.
Stanley looked up and saw the generator overhead, still providing some small amount of power to the machine, keeping it alive. And knowing that this generator was all that kept the controls running, Stanley moved to the ladder in the back of the room and
All right.
began to climb towards the rafters.
I began to climb. And climb.
The higher Stanley climbed, the closer he felt to freedom, the further from enslavement.
Nice. I'm going to do as it says. If you want me to do a video when I does the opposite of what he wants, I can do it. But now I will do as he says. What am I supposed to do here then? I'm supposed to disable it? Yeah, I think so. Alright, now it's black.
Blackness,
Yeah, blackness.
power gone, all alone. And then
What the fuck? It's open.
As he stepped through the door into the fresh outside air, a feeling of liberation rushed through Stanley's body. He had seen power, he had seen enslavement, and he had destroyed it. The underling was in control now. He had found his leading role. Stanley never discovered why everyone had gone missing, nor how and when he had come under the machine's control. But it didn't upset him terribly, because he knew that this was how things were meant to happen. All he felt was a delight unlike any he had ever known.
I really like this guy's sound.
Never
voice.
again would he
It's
follow
awesome.
someone else's orders without question.
I would like.
Never
one of these.
again would anyone tell Stanley where to go, what to do, or how to feel. No more bosses. No more instructions on a screen. Stanley decides for himself now. And he stepped out into the world, and he felt the cool breeze upon his skin, and Stanley was happy.
Happy. And yeah, as I said before, if you want me to show you what's happening if you doing the opposites... Now I don't even remember what I said. But if you want me to show what happens if you do the opposite what he wants, I can do another video. As always, I choose if I will continue to do more. If you like, share or comment. And if I get a lot of views. So, this was the Stanley Parable. Thanks for watching. See ya!